Feeling prejudice? Writing songs about it? God damn it. Prejudice. Wrote the song about it? Like to hear it? Here we go. Somebody needs to free their mind. Quick. There's a false imprisonment. There's definitely an imprisonment. Guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. I'm eccentric RockStar'Seed, and like the first 20 minutes of this video is intuitive messages. I'm intuitively led to say what I'm going to say because this is psychology, this is therapy, this is healing. This is healing, and this is healing, and this is healing. I'm not playing. Something's got to give, and that's okay because this is healing. Keep in mind, take what resonates, leave what does not. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The premonitions are being articulated by way of color. You have the color gray, you have the color red, and you have the color green. But in the order it's going is the color gray, and then there's the color green, and then there's the color red. Okay. What is this about? Getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. And what is clarifying that? Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. And what is further amplifying that? Death and rebirth. So you're going from darkness to light. And what's further clarifying that? Sacred action, decisive focus. And then you have surrender. You see the butterflies right there? That's also about transformation. Yeah. And then you have the thought. A thought is only a thought, and a thought could be changed. Be careful of your thoughts. And I said, well, how is the energy? How is the colors feeling? The Five of Pentacles, clarified by, the Nine of Swords is clarifying the Five of Pentacles. Somebody is crying right now, real bad. Let's start with the color gray. Somebody is embodying this color to the point that they think it's just another part of them. It's become normalized. It has to stop. Okay? I saw somebody's license plate tag today on a gray car, and it said, I will wait. But it was a W and a numeric 8. I will wait. And then the car was a dark gray. So it's like, what does the color gray, and what does the color gray represent? And this is where all the intuitive messages are coming in at. Something about, you seem to be hardworking, somebody who just gets the job done as it just has to be done. Like, let's just get it over with. Like, you tend to be committed and loyal to your work. Whatever your work is, doesn't matter what it is, you're dedicated to that. Once in a while, you may add a little spice of color to your life. So automatically, this is somebody's life is just traditionally gray, has become the norm. This person's norm, traditionally gray. So to add spice of color to your life, or like what they say their color is. So you can just sit down and have a general conversation with somebody. They may say their favorite color is blue or green or red, like red or green or something like that. And once in a while, they'll add that color to their life, meaning what? You may be yourself, meaning you may be authentic. Every once in a while, you may come out of that gray area and you're yourself. You peek around the corner to see if it's safe. Is the coast clear? Okay. You tend to be, this is somebody who tends to be indecisive, lacking that confidence. A fence sitter, somebody who finds it difficult to make executive choices in most situations of your life, which is how they probably got to be in a gray area. But when you look at this from a negative perspective, you tend to be restricted through actions. What do you mean, eccentric? by pessimistic slights on every fucking thing. Example. The shit gonna crash and burn anyway. Let me just enjoy it for while I have it before it's over. Just because you shut off your emotions, that doesn't mean you have control. But this is why people do that, is so they can try to gain control over how they're feeling. It can mean, it more so means, if anything, you're more out of control than anything, because you're trying to control the narrative by shutting off your emotions. You may be a person who makes fair and balanced judgments due to emotional detachment. Feeling like, if I don't speak from a subjective space, which would be how my feelings are about the situation, I can show up more fair and just in all situations by being objective. You prefer not to get involved in people, places, and things. Not too deep. I hate to go deep, but I hate to be deeply involved, but I love to go deep. What did Wale say? I love to go deep, but hate getting too deeply involved. Okay, you may coerce people in creating a surface level, a more surface level lifestyle. Something's more professional about you than it is personal. This is somebody who's inauthentically impersonal, because it's not true. It's just how you feel things have to be, as long as you feel some type of way. Okay, you're independent. You could be an individual or be very individualistic in your attitude. A one-dimensional mindset. So what does that mean, to have a one-dimensional mindset? It just blocks a broader horizon and opportunities. As even though the opportunities are present, you just have to embrace them. It's not quite a soliloquy, because a soliloquy is like approaching a person, talking around a person while pretending to be oblivious that they're there. So it's not quite a soliloquy, but it is a detachment style, because you're acting like there are opportunities that you would love to have, or love to have an opportunity to pursue, but by way of environmental attitude. And it's not anybody else's fault. It's your own doing. It's just the space you created. So if you look in the mirror at the people, the places, and the things that are around you, and notice the characteristic traits in all those different things, and realize they're coming from the space of a gray area. Your gray area. You put these people, places, and things in place because you're in a gray area. And it's not true. Now, what have I learned from all of this is being self-sufficient, unemotional, dedicated worker in my business life, and lonely and indecisive as a person in my private life. I'm not pleased at all. I'm not well at all. It's not even, I can't even look at nobody else. Like, your deepest needs would be to spread love, spread more love. To do that, you got to go in a colorful space. And going back to that key point about once in a while you may add color in your life, just as a treat to yourself. This is somebody who put themselves in a self-inflicted prison. It's time to free yourself. Get out of your own minds. You got to change your mind to change your life. This has become a thing now. This is the ultimate addiction. This is worse than drinking, worse than smoking, worse than sex with random people. This is self-inflicted prison, self-judgment. That's a major sin in any religion across the board. All religions are based off the same higher source, but nonetheless, to judge yourself when God is the best of all judges, that's a mistake. So it will help to spread love and dedication in more areas in your life instead of just one. To be respect, you want the respect of who you authentically are, and you don't understand why you don't get it. It's because you're not showing up in the color that you truly are. You dig? So for who, for you to find a place in this world, or find your place in this world with that deep feeling of belonging, that sense of belonging, you're not going to be betrayed for too much longer as long as you're showing up authentic, because it's going to maneuver people, places, and things around that are a vibrational match to you. But if you're looking at people, places, and things now and just not understanding, you're just looking at it in disgust, or just really fucked up about things. Okay? Just add this spice, this color you added in your life. If you're so gray, how are you attracted to somebody who is a red or a green? That's polar opposite of gray. You rather be polar opposite. Gray can also represent neutrality. Am I saying it right? Being neutral. The polar opposite of right and wrong. Somebody who lacks confidence in their opinions, and they don't easily make decisions. They're fixed. They're very routine and mundane. And that's everyday life for something or somebody. They're not easily mentally stimulated. Like, colors bring mental stimulation. Okay? You seem to have met someone who is a burst of color. And what did they do? They tapped into your colorful side. They pull it out of you. So no wonder things are different now. You're not in a gray area no more. You see things in black and white now. You can distinguish the polar opposite of right or wrong. You can confidently state an opinion and make decisions a lot easier. Okay? This person can pursue multiple interests in that pursuit of happiness. So they're not just fixated on one thing. Remember Jennifer Lopez's character on Monster-in-Law? And he came into her house. He was like, "Did you just move in?" She was like, "No, I've been here a year and a half." And she said, I'm a dog walker, a life coach, a hairdresser. She might not have said she was a hairdresser, but she's a multitude of different things. And her point was, life's too short to live the same day twice. You could have met someone who's that burst of color. Like, this man was a doctor, and his ex was stiff. Like, he kind of showed up in a gray area, like routine, and he found the spice in his life through Jennifer Lopez, her character. Mental stimulations of the senses that colors bring. You pursue one interest after another in pursuit of your own happiness. That is the person of color. This person of color is a lot more open-minded, a lot more confidently made a decision in you, even in your gray area. Okay? Routine brings... No. Yeah. Routine brings boredom. I'm not routine. You prefer a more fulfilling life. You're richer in life. You're richer, so you show up in color. You have inspired, ladies and gentlemen, someone has inspired you to come out of that gray area, or you have inspired someone to come out of that gray area. And they are either the green. Which one are you? The green or the red? Both indicate the heart chakra. The green, to be green is to be harmonious, unconditional love, mutual respect, open heart chakra. The quality, you value the quality of forgiveness, compassion, trust, devotion, and transformation. We see transformation on this board twice. Even red is a heart chakra. It's the century of love and passion. Red is the color of true love. I use it to express gratitude, love, happiness, hope flirtatiousness, healing, even anger in some instances. Because I'm about strength, I represent power, courage, even danger sometimes. You mess with somebody I love, that's dangerous. Red is vibrant, very stimulating, and exciting. It has a strong link to sexuality, even increased appetite. So someone has that insatiable appetite for death and rebirth. I want to reach Michael. We know where he is, Kay, but that's all we can tell you. We know that he's safe, but that's all we know. We don't know where he is. So number 19 is on this card, death and rebirth. That's from the Godfather, y'all. 19 is like the sun. That's vitality and joy. And it also has green on this card. There's a lot of green in this card. And then you have sacred action, decisive focus. 17 is also the star in the traditional tarot deck. So when I see the thought, you see this girl, how she's like resting with her head slightly bowed as if she's heavily contemplating something. Thought is a powerful spiritual vibration, and it can be used to generate atmospheres of healing or harmfulness, depending on the evolution of the thinker. The point I'm trying to make is, if you have a cause, to reason or decide or discover, maybe resolve a situation, this will be the time to do it. It's a favorable time to do it. The quality of your thoughts always determine the wisdom of your choices, right? So be aware of the positive power of your thoughts and how they affect your current situation and others around you. When reasoning ends, you're using a calming, intuitive influence of meditation or prayer, as they say, as a tool to soften any raw edges, and you're trying to restore balance. That's the sacred action you're called to take. It's something that needs to be healed in the way that you think, to redirect the way you treat yourself. Someone could have put themselves in imprisonment, or just need to be freed altogether from a false imprisonment. And then when I see surrender under the death of transformation, surrendering is like ascending to the heavenly realms of things. What do you mean, eccentric? You may have reached an impasse within a challenging predicament, or perhaps you are struggling to maintain control within a situation. It's like, if you're satisfied, you could do no more. So obviously, in a situation, you're not that satisfied, because now is a good time to let go and surrender. Okay? You don't know what to do. Usually when you don't know what to do, you do nothing. You're supposed to pray, sit in stillness, and think and listen to what God is going to tell you to do next. And let your your prayer should be, what is your will, not my will. So the thing I said about butterflies, they're a powerful symbol of transformation and renewal. Now is the time to embrace change. Step bravely into the unknown and surrender what you are for that which you could become. What are you trying to become? Okay, say a prayer. Say a prayer for me and say a prayer for everybody. Our Rab, forgive our sins and excesses, establish our feet firmly, and give us victory over the unbelievers. Amen. Surah number 3, ayat number 147. It's like, what I'm getting at, it just looks like someone is worried that something's over, and they're stressed out about it, or they've been stressed about it, even as a situation could be very stressful within itself. It's triggering some kind of abandonment issue, or it's just the reality that it could be over, or I need to say goodbye to it, and it's what I know. to have been my gray area for a long time. That person, place, or thing, it could be how I've been thinking. It could be how the person's been thinking for the longest time or feeling for the longest time. And it's like these bad feelings have manifested into a real sickness in my heart. And I didn't know that until that burst of color. That one time I just thought it was a cool thing to have that splash of color a little bit, that treat. Like if you're heavily disciplined on a health restricted diet or healthy lifestyle and you allow yourself something that's junk food once every other week, not every week, every other week, you allow yourself to just indulge, because food is a pleasure of life too. And so are people. It's like that person or that thing is like, that's my favorite thing that I like to indulge in after I've been so strict or restricted for so long. I feel like I owe that to myself. Well, let's get honest. I feel like somebody needs to get really honest. It's like, why is being in a gray area the norm? You don't want to make a decision for yourself. It's like the way you think. It's something about the way you think. It's being challenged. And now you're starting to question, why do I feel like that? It's because you've been allowing yourself to stay in a mental imprisonment for a long time behind something that was very traumatizing. Abandonment is traumatizing. Or feel forced to have to abandon things that are routine, or just the idea of abandoning what is routine. That way of thinking has to stop. And I think that someone is called to surrender, death and rebirth. It's like, you don't feel that way for no reason. That burst of color gave you that electric shock to the heart to wake it back up. Like the things they zap on your chest if you pass out from a heart attack. You put those things on the chest, all clear, zoo, zap the person back to send those currents back to their heart to wake it back up. That's what I feel like. Somebody had a heart attack and they died. But mentally and spiritually, usually death kind of follows somebody who dies of a broken heart. But now that splash of color is that electrical current that you typically would rely on to zap your heart every so often, make sure it's up. If it got like that faint sound of a weaker beat, like a salt is like, it has a faint sound to it. Usually a healthy heart beats, you can hear it loud on the ultrasounds, like bow, 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 bow. Like, how it sounds, how a heartbeat sounds. But when it gets a little faint, you give yourself that dash of color. Because gray does represent a lack of oxygen too. Like, I'm not breathing so well. I'm not alive. I don't feel alive. It can represent depression too. It is a great depression to think it is routine to be in a gray area, or somebody who's neutral, somebody who's coming off a little more passive than what's necessary. I feel like you're called to stand your ground, like the death and rebirth. It's like somebody, that splash of color kind of came along and it just sparked something in you that your heart ain't shut off since. Yeah, that's what it feels like. Someone may need to let go of control issues. And as I'm shuffling, you see my hands shuffling? This one wanted to flip over. You have strength, you have 3 of Wands, and you have the 8 of Swords. Now you got the 8 and the 9 of Swords. So there's some progression. And I said something about a mental imprisonment, but somebody's really fucking upset about one or the other, or both. You only see things like it's either one or the other. Either way, I have to abandon something or someone, or I'll lose everything. And that's really fucking stressing somebody out. And then you got this 8 of Swords. And this 3 of Wands and the Strength card. It's been a while. The 3 of Wands represents patience. Patience. So you got 3, 5, 3, a 5, a 8, and a 9. So what I feel like, maybe you had a false perception of what it should look like. Nobody fundamentally taught you the proper mechanics, look, 6 of swords on the bottom, of what it means to live in color. Remember that song, the theme song of the show Live in Color from the early 90s? You can do what you want to do and live in color. So that's somebody's free zone. This somebody is like, once you have that dose of color, you know how lively that show was. Everybody was dancing. It was upbeat. Even Jennifer Lopez was in. She was a dancer on Living Color. Heavy emphasis on that Leo energy, that fire energy, like the polar opposite of Aquarius. Even though we're in Aquarius season, but we did have a full moon in Leo recently. Now we got a new moon in Aquarius. Somebody needs to really, really snap out of it. And then you go right back to this. It's like you'll have that burst of living color and then you'll go right back to this. Like, what the fuck? That's not life. That's not living. It's like, that's my vacation. And then I gotta go back. What the fuck? That's not what we're called to do. So what color are you? The green or the red? Because one of them or both of them is the truth. The gray area is like, it's time to get honest. You're invoking too many pessimistic ideas, turn reality. Like, what your thoughts become things very quickly. So if you got the thought card under the sacred action, you dig? That's decisive focus. So you're indecisive with your focus. Something like that. You've been very indecisive with your focus. All right, y'all. Let's okay. 7 of Wands. Here we go. That wanted to flip out. Is it the opinions of others? Or is it that these are opportunities that have come about and you blocked them out of pessimism? What's wrong? What is it that you want to say? What is it that I should say?
Give me this.
Your deepest need will be to spread love and dedication in more areas in your life. That's what the lesson is. To be respected for who you are, for who you really are, for who you really are, and to find your place in the world with a deep feeling of belonging. Someone just wants to run away and never come back. And it's really them running away from what's hurting them. And their way of doing it wasn't quite scientific, but they never had that kind of teacher, that style of teaching. Everybody thinks they has the recipe. You dig what I'm saying? And it's okay that everybody, some people mean well, but sometimes their best advice is not the best advice for you. For you. I remember my aunt said that before. I like how she articulated it. It's like sometimes people can give you all sorts of advice, but it's not always the best advice. You have the Strength card. This is in the present. Is this in the present moment? I don't even give timelines. I just read the energy. It's something you waited for. Is in your face or in your presence. You take heed to something. You're taking heed to. Okay, so the lion is heart. That's green. That's representing the heart chakra. And then you got the 7 of Wands. Here. So you got 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. Strength. It's like I've been standing strong. I don't feel so strong. Even though it's like I've been surviving. I have not been living. I've not really lived in my authenticity in a long time. And if you look at her covers, that can indicate the red and the green too. Okay? And the swords is gray. Even the sheet she's sitting on is gray. Gray area. But it's a fabulous cover to make it look like it's all rosy and red and green. Like, look at that shit. That could represent what I'm talking about. And this person sitting here crying. Because the truth is, they've been in a gray area. Even her pants is gray. The fuck? But her bra, under her shirt is red. So you're dressing it up like it's not what that is. It's like, you got to get in touch with yourself. Somebody's required to get in touch with themselves. And the Eight of Swords is gray. The Eight of Swords is gray, but she's also wearing red and green. The red and green concept I'm talking about. And she's standing in water. So your head hurts about something. You're met with too many challenges, too many blockages. You want to make sure you're not the one creating them. Because even though that the ground around you is gold, that's vitality. That's happiness. And Leo, you dig? Leo is the sun. I said something about the sun. So number 19, death and rebirth. Something's happening for you, and I don't know how. I don't know if I should say if it how fast, like progressive. It takes patience. You got 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. So the numbers is going in the order of relatively. It's like that splash of color. That splash of color is kind of propelling things along. It's pushing things along a little bit quick, like the repellers. It's like the blades under the boat. The repeller is pushing things along faster. With somebody's strength and integrity and dominance. And I don't think it looks so integral on the storefront. It's not what it seems. It's like underneath it is a lot of gray. It's a lot of neutral energy. Like even her hat, it keep going back to this picture. Like her hat this is gray. Most of what she's wearing is gray. So there's some life in you. There's still some vibrance in you. But you're sitting on something, you're sitting in a gray space. You're sitting on something that's gray when you're really a red or a green. It could be both, red and green. Even the lady in the picture, her purity and her white dress and her integrity is decorated in red and green. You dig? So these are endings and new beginnings. With white, even a lion, you got this lion to show up in color instead of the nonchalance or the neutral space of not standing and taking the lead. Make a decision. Take confidence. And you saw this woman is coercing this lion to come along. There's a right way, there's a wrong way to do things, but you have a responsibility as the king of the jungle. You think what I'm saying? You're supposed to rule the jungle. You're supposed to take the lead and make a decision either way. And it seems like the lack of the stubbornness, the inflexibility is stemming from a hurt space. Hurt people cause pain to other people, even if you don't mean to. I don't think anybody means to cause pain, but it's causing pain because it's prolonged. I hear Remy Shan burning bridges. That's going in that playlist. What else can we learn? The Chariot, the Hangman, the Emperor, the Seven of Cups. What the fuck does that mean? You name it. Some people watch these channels like, I don't know what any of that stuff means. These are major arcanas, back to back to back. The Chariot, even in the major arcanas, you got the Emperor. That's 4, 7, 8, 12. So something is propelling along. Okay, now you got 2 7s here, which is a warning. 7 of Wands, 7 of Cups. And I feel like a lot of it is fuck choosing eeny, meeny, miny, mo, motherfuckers. It's not that. It's influence, negative influence, toxic influence. Okay, and that has to stop. Because you need to see things clearly. You need to operate from a space of mental clarity. Okay, and I just said something about a lion ruling the jungle, and then you got the Emperor. Okay, the Hangman is usually self-inflicted. You're stuck there, the foot is stuck, but the hands are free. So you can pull yourself out of the situation and propel yourself forward in blind faith. So someone's relying on themselves because they're broken spirited. One of the things that are a problem here, what I'm seeing is the spirit is broke, the heart was broke, the spirit and the heart with the 2 7s. That tells you right there where the biggest challenges are. Now the heart is open. Now the spirit is trying to lead you a certain way. It's trying to lead you to go about things in a certain way. I feel like somebody needs to draw the conclusion that I am not letting the past dictate my future. I'm not opposing what's right and what's wrong. I'm not standing neutral and individualistic in my attitude, like it's just me, woe is me. I'm out here by myself. All I got is me. I can't rely on nobody but me. Everybody's shit, or it turns out to be shit. But this person is very like distraught in the mind when the overall energy was the Nine of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. Like, it's like, I got to do something, even in the Five of Pentacles, motherfucker. One got on red, one got on green. You dig? And the outside of it looked like a church. I always thought this was a church. And with the snow indicating the sleep of death, endings and new beginnings. I just want to wake up a totally different person. Like, why me? Shuffle for Aquarius. Even if you're not an Aquarius, you'd be cross-watching for an Aquarius or somebody with Aquarius placements. Okay. The Five of Swords is matching the Five of Pentacles. This is somebody's mouth. Somebody's trying to win by any means necessary. Like a bully. They're trying to win by all costs. Somebody don't know what the fuck to say out their mouth. Somebody talks too much. They talk out of turn too much, and it's not good. The smart mouth has to stop. And what's on the bottom of that? The Seven of Swords. The trickery. Somebody's real choicey with their words. Maybe because they think someone is deceiving them. But you notice she has 5 swords in her hand. So the same person that is talking shit is this is somebody who's taking every opportunity to win by any means necessary. Like almost like an opportunist. This gives me opportunist vibes. Because even in the Five of Swords, she has 2 in her hand, the author of confusion. With the Five of Swords, that's somebody who practiced the art of persuasion. And that could be for better or for worse, sending people to feel bad about themselves as a way to need to be there, need to have control, a need for control. Somebody who feels like out of control, okay? Because 2 of them swords are down. This one in her hand would be the one sword would start with the ace, the opportunity to cause confusion by any means necessary. It's like it's not one thing, it's another with this person, okay? Yeah, she got 5 swords in her hand in this one. Someone's a happiness killer or something like that. And these are lies too. Someone's trying to lie on somebody else to cause confusion. So why? Let's get to it. The point of all of this. I need that mental stimulation. It's like you almost serve as a medicine. Whoever the splash of color is serving as a medicine and a remedy. But what's the point of taking an antibiotic if you're going to keep having unprotected sex? To make it simple for what I'm trying to say. If you're going to keep allowing yourself to be in a position to get sick, what is the point of taking the antidote to fix it just to go back to the same situation? What's the point? Like you can't do the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. It sounds like bullshit. It sounds like you lying to yourself. You're trying to lie to yourself and you lying to other people and you should stop pretending. Something like that. Stop pretending that the way you live in is cool. It's not cool for you. It wouldn't be cool for anybody else if it's not cool for you. Even an unhappy, like they say, unhappy women bring misery to everybody. So does unhappy men because they're not happy. Man or woman. Unhappy people bring about more issues because they're not in a space of progress. They're in a poverty-stricken mind. They feel abandoned. They feel like they don't have nothing or nobody. You keep trying to like deprive me of things that make me happy. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody come out their mouth and say that shit. Because when I put this together, it's like you keep trying to trick me or persuade me to sit in a situation that caused me to be alone. I'm tired. Somebody's really tired. I'm tired. It's time to stop. Okay? Something has to stop. I will wait. That stuck with me today. And I saw somebody's license plate. It said, I will wait. So someone could feel like you don't have a choice but to go a different direction. And they want you to come back. They don't want to see you leave. I will wait. Don't leave. Somebody's telling you not to leave. I may have embodied this color or added this color to my authentic palette to the point that it just feels like another part of me. But so I don't think somebody wants you to leave. Because it seemed like when you're around, the person can see straight, can see things clearly, can think clearly. Like I was like, it's like the movie, The Top 5, who the man was engaged to versus who he was, the reporter. He was like, I was so happy all day running around the city with this person, just talking to this person. That was it just uplifted his spirits. That was somebody who was compatible with him. You know why? They had more in common. She was a recovering addict too, just like him. And he ended up relapsing in the movie. And the first person who would have been there for him was like either a sponsor or her. She could appreciate his relapse. But when he spoke to his fiance and she saw it was made public too, it was like humiliating to him. He felt humiliated. If anybody was humiliated, it was Chris Rock's character. But his fiance took the approach like, I cannot believe you did this shit to me. Are you fucking kidding me? Like she's just beating him down like everything's about her. It's like all this was strategic for her to come up in the world. She was like, I don't have any talent. I don't tell jokes. I don't sing. I don't write. All I have is this reality TV show. This is all I have. You owe me. He was like, do you hear yourself? Like she didn't ask, was he okay? She didn't ask, or what's going to happen? I'll be right there. We can work through this. She didn't do none of that shit. All she went straight for is me, 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 me. You did this to me. And on the flip side of his relapse, and Rosario Dawson's character, the reporter, finally caught up to him, and she was like, I want to talk to you. Even though she lied, because she wrote an article under a fictitious name. She didn't use her natural name, and she used to write articles against his character, and she didn't want him to know that that was her who was doing that. And he found out by looking at her phone or something like that. I don't know what he did. He saw the message for himself. And it came back to him like, this woman is smiling and laughing in my face like we cool. In actuality, you was the reporter I was talking about earlier. He was like, my mother read that article, about all the shit. She was writing all these bad reviews about him. But when she got to know him in person, obviously she knew the truth. Like she never knew him until she started reporting him directly. So she was just writing off of, like, she was speaking from a negative space, a neutral space, a negative opinion. Like it was just all about the job, getting the job done. And she was writing all these bad reports and stuff. But she went and made it right. And he was like, rigorous honesty, right? That's what we learn in the program for Narcotics or Alcohol Anonymous. He said, I'm scared. I never told a joke sober, and I'm fucking scared. But she showed up to his show, and he felt like $1 million, even though he nailed that shit. But he was scared because that was his first time performing without alcohol. So that's the space. Somebody's in that gray space routine. You saw how he was just going with the flow with the fiance, and he wasn't happy. He was just bored out of his damn mind. He almost reminded me of the character when he played I Think I Love My Wife. But this isn't a thing where he's being seduced away. He's not being seduced away. He's being showed a better way. There's a better way. There's a more authentic way you can get to your space and place in this world, and it'd be a lot more conducive or befitting if you did it with that open heart. Like he wasn't just going to willingly open his heart. Clearly he's not willing. He's inspired. The whole thing of it is he was inspired to do things a little different. Mom. And maybe it took that splash of color, that spice of color to inspire him. I need to shake things up. It's just showing me where I'm lacking in my personal life, in myself. I'm allowing myself to be bored and I'm bringing misery to my person or my partner, or I need to get the fuck out of here. Whichever one, however way it resonates. Page of Pentacles, wow. The Hierophant. Wow. It's about a leadership position. The Empress. Wow. The Nine of Cups. Wow. I want to take a step in a different direction. The Tower is on the bottom. That's the overall energy. I want to take a step in this different direction with this Six of Cups. With this Six of Cups and this Eight of Wands. I want to say how I feel with this Page of Cups, but I haven't been doing the utmost shadow work. So he's coming in as a small gesture, but it means a lot. The gesture comes off as a Page of Cups, but it is big like a Hierophant and an Empress. Okay, here's the Fool card. It's big. It has big emotion behind it, even if he's not saying it the way he feels it. The Fool card is like, I want to take a chance, even if I need you to believe in me, even if you think what I'm doing is fucking crazy or stupid or naive. I just need the support. What this person needs to know is that somebody has his back. With the Star, the Ace of Cups, the Ten of Swords, because I've been down here. I'm tired. Here go that 10, the final 10, the final nail in the coffin. And in this deck is two cards that look like that. One of them say everything is fine. And the Five of Cups, like, I've been down this road before. Like, I'm tired of getting my heart broke. I'm tired of feeling betrayed and disrespected. I'm tired of betraying myself. I'm tired of disrespecting myself and my own happiness. I want to do what makes me happy. Somebody feels like they can. They believe that they can. They believe in themselves. Why? Because this Empress believes in them. This mother figure believes in them. And she gives him unconditional loving advice with that Page of Cups to how to heal. Someone's teaching this person how to rise above what didn't go their way. Like, it's all right. You have to know that it's all right. You got to, first of all, know that you have to believe it's going to be all right. So when I see the Hierophant, it looked like two people are praying for each other in their separate corners to the Most High. When I see the Hierophant, because it can serve as the Most High. And the Eight of Wands is underneath it, and the Ace of Cups is underneath it. So when you put that together, it looked like two people believe in something or feel that spark. They could believe it's the Most High trying to talk to them. And I think that's where we're going with this conversation in most instances. You both come from bullshit pasts. This could be a divorce, a nasty ass divorce. Somebody's nasty ass divorce. I'm not letting that shit control me no more. Page of Cups. Let's talk. Don't talk, just listen. With Jodeci, like the show Stay, I'm about to say the movie Stay. The High Priestess is an intuition. It's a heightened intuition. It's an inner knowing of what this is. So watch your thoughts. The sacred action is a call to prayer for a lot of you. It's a call to prayer and to remain as graceful and integral, because the process is not easy. It's not meant to be pretty. It's unconventional. It's less than desirable. but it's a fucking tower at the end of the day. Like it is. Like it's tearing down all the hypocrisy to build a death and rebirth. Surrender. Like that's all you really can do, because something's happening, something's different. This Page of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, this past life, where I know you from. Okay. And then with this healing ass energy with the star card right here, the optimism, that's that splash of color. She's pouring those water barriers out with red. It's red. You dig what I'm saying? That splash of color. That century of love and passion. You dig what I'm saying? This is a color of true love. So it has to come from the Most High. This resource can't be bad if I don't have bad feelings about it. And everybody is just going to have a cup of fucking humility and some humble pie and find a healthy way to deal with this shit, is what I'm seeing. Okay? So that's all I have right now. I want to stop right here because it's time to go pray. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.